It's nice playing a club, really, because it's much more of a challenge, because you know you can't get away with quite what you can get away with in the big halls. It's much more important. Also, you're controlling your own sound there too. You haven't got the PA to sort of do it all for you. I think it's a nice thing to do. I think it works at all levels, the size of audience. I mean, I think that the big concerts, you know, when you're playing to sort of 20,000 or obviously more like we are tonight, I mean, they become such an event. They take on something else apart from just being a music place. I think the best place, you want to hear music, for a group like us anyhow, the best size is about a 3,000 seater. We sort of work best in that. I think we're better at that than we are at a club even. But I think it all works though, I think, on a different level.
We had Jim Yukich, the guy who's sort of been involved with the last few videos. He just was around, I think he was making stuff for you guys, wasn't he? So while he was there, we thought, why not, you know? So he just sort of, he happened to shoot a certain amount of the Toronto show we were doing for the big screens there. And so he had a sort of basic thing for Throwing It All Away of live footage, although obviously you had to sync it up with the recorded version, which is what the video goes with. And the rest of the stuff was just sort of things he'd shot over the previous 2 days, you know. And as you can see, sometimes we're pretty grumpy, and sometimes we're less grumpy. And it turned out quite fun, I think, really. It's a follow-up to Invisible Touch, I suppose, in a way. Videos, it's not a strong point with me. I mean, when we do a video, we take it seriously because we've got to do it. But it, you know, it is one day, you know, I mean, maybe if you do 3 or 4 songs, that's 3 or 4 days in a sort of year or so. So it's not a very important thing for us in that way, but we think about them, we try to think of ideas. We had strong ideas for Legal Alien and for Mama when we did that. Had no ideas at all for Invisible Touch, which is why it ended up how it was. It was just sort of, you know, just what we happened to do on the day. And obviously for Throwing It All Away, we weren't even sure we were going to do a video for that really, because we did a video for In Too Deep, which is the European single, and we thought Throwing It All Away, it got going so fast that we thought by the time we'd done a video that it would have died, you see. But as it happens, it's since been doing very well. So it's sort of they did this video because the guys happened to be there.
I can live without it. I mean, it's not what I'm in the business for. It's quite fun just to do it. Some of them more fun than others. You know, if you do a lot of location stuff, that can be entertaining. And when we did something like, I think the most fun video we've done as a group was probably Legal Alien. We all dressed up. That kind of thing is quite amusing. It's quite difficult, particularly keyboards I find, you know, and also being a rather static performer. You know, it's quite difficult to know what to do half the time, you know, and a song like this, I mean, a lot of it is like chords, you know, and so you just, you think, well, what do I do now? You know, I've looked over there, I've looked over there, I've looked at my hands lots, you know, and so from that point of view, and I would be happier not being in front of a camera, to be honest, but it's part of the job, and, you know, knowing I've got to do it means that I can enjoy it, because you can get involved in sort of, you know, what actually goes on to the film and all that. The radio edit that exists, and we did it because someone said to us that you really need to have that, because certain American radio stations just won't play anything if it's longer than that length. Now, I mean, our attitude is the song is 6.5 minutes, but it seems silly not to have a version that can be cut down to be played. When you still get the essence of the song there, but you know, we have to, when we get to the second chorus, having cut down a little bit earlier on, we have to disappear pretty quick, you know, so it's a lot shorter. But you know, as far as we're concerned, the album is really what's important to us. Yeah. We make an album, and then, you know, everything else is like a way of trying to get people to listen to the record. So that if by doing this we get people to listen to the record who wouldn't otherwise do it, then we're prepared to do it. But, you know, the sort of principle, we prefer not to do things like that.